looking at the dollar today, previous daily closure, a strong bullish momentum taking out the previous day's high, closing above the wick, and most importantly, closing above 100. So what we are anticipating right now is I do anticipate dollar to make a move higher, possibly to 100.7, to tap on this previous high or to tap above this region. However, if dollar does close above this trend line here today and break this trend line, I'm anticipating a retest before moving higher. However, we'll have to see if if today's candlestick does tap this region and closes below the trend line here, doesn't violate the whole trend line, we can anticipate a further move back downwards. Then it will be still respecting this trend line, like this candlestick. It went up, came back down, and then just melted. So this is my view on dollar right now. And on the 4-hourly, it seems like dollar is trying to push up. It does close above. It has taken out all this, but it opened lower for dollar. So I'm anticipating dollar to move higher today as well, continuing the bullish momentum. We haven't seen a slowdown in price in terms of the 4-hour yet, and price is currently staying very high above the MAs, so there is a potential lookout that price may come back down and also only going up to touch on the MAs first as supportive levels. So but my overall view on dollar is bullish at the current moment. So looking at gold, so previously I've mentioned that gold has been consolidating within this region very vigorously. We have seen that wicks have been thrown here, and I was calling short from this region, and look at how price have actually visited this region 4 times, throwing wicks above, couldn't close above this consolidation zone. And I actually set a sell limit at 1710, which is above somewhere here, but price only visited 1708.6, so it missed my sell entry and gold just melted. This was from yesterday's, and gold just melted all the way back down into 1683. Just missed my initial target of 1680 here. However, I'm anticipating gold right now to retest the lower end of the consolidation box, which is about 1696. I'm looking to take a short from here. 1696, and I'm looking to put a stop maybe around here, 500 pip stop, and riding it down below 1610 to take out the stops underneath here. Because on the daily of gold, we are still respecting the trend line, and yesterday's daily closure was a really strong one. It's taken out 1-2 wicks, and it has closed below these 2 candle bodies. So I'm anticipating the bearish momentum to follow through all the way down, and potentially a stop hunt. Given that I'm bullish on the dollar, this adds me confidence into gold going further down. So my bias on gold is bearish, although this candlestick right now for the 4-hourly has closed bullish. I've taken out this candlestick, this wick, closed above the wick here and taken out this candlestick, but it did not close above the initial melt. So the bearish bias hasn't been taken out yet. It is just maybe a form of retest. So this setup is still valid, and I'm looking out for this setup. Looking at next, we'll look at GA. So for GA, I was initially long on GA. I was anticipating GA to come and tap into 1.92672 before moving upwards. However, that did not turn out well. GA actually melted it through, and right now GA has closed pretty bearish all the way down. GA is now currently retesting a current price is at this liquidity zone where they have multiple wicks here. Yesterday we have tapped into this region, but we couldn't close below it, and the previous daily candlestick closure was above the 4-hour region. So I am looking out for GA. I do expect GA to turn around really soon and really swiftly. However, because GA is a really trendy pair, so I have to wait for a slowdown in momentum before actually taking a counter trend move. So looking at the 4-hourly, this melt, I triggered my buy and free here. However, I got taken out by my stops by this candlestick. So and it retested this liquidity zone. It went back up to test the 48 EMA. It just tapped on it and it just melted. So right now I am anticipating a I did anticipate a sell from here. However, that did not get me into the sell, and it just melted. So right now I'm looking. I do anticipate price to further decline into 1.91 before actually making up its mind here. We have reached this 0.618 region, and but I wouldn't anticipate a buy because looking at the momentum here, looking at the smaller time frame, the momentum is pretty strong here. Unless we see that the 1-hour candlestick is showing us that the momentum of the bearish is slowing down here, then we could possibly take a buy, and a double bottom formation has been formed here. Otherwise, I'm looking for GA to continue melting. I'm not gonna take any positions right now because it's a very risky position without any risk reward ratio. So I just have to sit down on my hands and wait for further price confirmation and further bias to form. Looking at GU on the daily, we have a pretty bearish candle formed here. My bias was a short on GU yesterday. Looking at this candle form, I did say that price would reach 1.245 before melting downwards, and this was exactly what happened. Looking on the 4-hourly, I did my journal around here. So price around here. So price did come up all the way 1.245, tapped right to the accurate decimal point. However, my sell entry was about 10 pips away. So unfortunately, that did not put me in, and it just melted all the way down into my target one, which was this level, this 4-hour level that I've drawn on. So it went down, and if I was to take a short position, I would have actually gotten out of the trade in profit, but sadly it just missed me by a few pips. However, what is going on right now is that GU melted, and it continued to melt further. Right now we can see that it is testing on the lower support of a previous one. So we are currently testing this region right now, 1.2310. So we have to see. I am anticipating a pullback on GU, a pullback like this before we move down to the previous weekly low. I am bearish. My bias is bearish on GU because of looking at how strong the daily candlestick were. The previous candle closed and killed literally almost all of these wicks that were pushing it upwards. So my bias is bearish on GU, provided that I am anticipating the dollar to gain further strength. So yeah, that's my entry, and let me just draw on another risk reward ratio here. So if I were to take a short position on GU, it will be from here. I would have to have my stops right above here, and I'll write it down all the way here. However, we have to take in factor that today is Thursday, and it might not be a good time to hold the trade. I don't expect to see GU to be able to reach to the bottom of the previous weekly low by this week, but maybe it'll play out by maybe start of next week. But I do anticipate GU to be able to reach here today before taking a short. I wouldn't want to take a counter trend trade on GU at the moment because of the strong bearish momentum. It could melt anytime. So yeah, that's my journal for today. Thank you.